Right now, ZTF SLRN-2020 is still consuming the remains of a world that was once a living planet, and NASA has no way to stop it. The astronomers who found it are still watching it happen in real time. And what this star is doing to its own solar system is something scientists say they were not prepared to see. But here's what nobody is telling you. ZTF SLRN 2020 is a star roughly the size of our own sun, sitting about 12,000 light-years away inside the Milky Way. For billions of years, it was unremarkable. A quiet, stable star with planets circling it just like ours. Then something changed. The star began to swell. Slowly at first, the way a dying fire sometimes flares before it goes dark. But instead of burning out, it grew. And as it grew, it reached. It pulled one of its own planets inward, closer and closer, until there was nowhere left to go. Astronomers at MIT and Caltech spotted the event using the Zwicky Transient Facility, a sky survey designed to catch things that change. They caught this one in the act. What they saw was a single, catastrophic flash, a 1,000-day dimming trail, and a planet that no longer exists. Here is what that looked like from Earth. In May 2023, the star abruptly brightened by a factor of 100 times brighter in a matter of days. Then it went cold. Not the kind of cold that stars go. The kind of cold that happens when something is swallowed, when the energy from an entire world is absorbed, suddenly, into a stellar furnace. The planet that vanished was a gas giant, something close to Jupiter in size. It had likely orbited its star for billions of years, maybe longer than Earth has existed. And then the star expanded into it. The planet didn't explode. It didn't shatter. It spiraled inward, slowing, heating, disintegrating layer by layer until it was simply gone. The infrared signature, the heat, lasted for years afterward. The star is still glowing hotter than it should. The digestion is not over, and the system it left behind will never recover. The obvious explanation is a red giant expansion. Stars do this. They run low on hydrogen, swell outward, and absorb inner planets. We've known for years that our own sun will do this to Mercury and probably Venus. So when astronomers first flagged the event, that's what they assumed. An ordinary stellar death swallowing an ordinary planet. But the math didn't hold. Red giant expansions are slow. They take millions of years. This one happened in months. The brightness spike was too fast. The infrared signature was wrong, and the chemistry in the star's outer layers showed traces of material that had no business being there: minerals, metals, the building blocks of a solid world. Something about this broke the model, and that's when the real questions started. Here is what they found when they looked harder. ZTF SLRN 2020 didn't just absorb the planet gradually from the outside. The planet spiraled in, a process called orbital decay, dragged deeper by gravitational drag inside the star's own outer envelope. It punched through. It descended into the stellar layers while still partially intact, burning from the outside in, releasing energy as it fell. Think of a comet hitting an atmosphere, except the comet is the size of Jupiter, and the atmosphere is a star. The energy released during that descent was equivalent to roughly 10,000 years of the sun's total output, compressed into a single event lasting less than a year. That is what produced the brightness spike. That is what lit up the infrared. But here is the strange part: it shouldn't be possible at all. Not at this speed, not at this scale, not in a system this old. And yet the models now suggest this is not rare. 1 in 50 stars in our galaxy will consume a planet during their lifetime. That is 2 billion stars, 2 billion planetary systems that end not with a whimper but with their own sun closing in from all sides slowly, then all at once. And whatever had time to develop on those worlds, they get no warning. What this means for our own solar system is something astronomers are careful not to say too loudly. Our sun will expand. That is not a theory. That is a scheduled event approximately 5 billion years from now. Mercury goes first, then Venus. Then the question nobody wants to answer out loud. Earth sits at the outer edge of what the models call the danger zone. Some projections say we survive. Some say we spiral in. But ZTF SLRN 2020 showed us something new, that the process can be faster, stranger, and more violent than the textbooks ever described. The star didn't gradually grow over its planet. It reached out and took it. And the light from that moment traveled 12,000 years across space to reach us. We watched it happen. We could not warn anyone. We cannot stop our own version when it comes. So the real question isn't whether it happens. We have seen it happen. The question is what was there before it did. If 1 in 50 stars does this, and we are only just now watching, how many already have? And what exactly did they take with them? Tell me what you think in the comments.